Adair,
Here.
Bayless,
Here.
McClellan,
Here.
Noah,
Here.
Philbeck.
Here. Citizens appearing. Rachel, Mr. Mulkey, go after.
Go ahead.
Hello, my name is Rachel Bixby. I'm a taxpayer and a voter. I own a house at 126 South First Street in Rogers City, on property in Rogers Township. And I came to the city council meeting that last addressed the issue of free removal at the request of a private business. I went to the first Parks and Recreation Commission meeting. I missed the second one, but I understand that in their discussion of the proposed regulations, if you will, that they had taken out the part about removing trees at the request of the business, and I'm just standing to say that I think that the policy ought to be about health of the trees, things that are safety and all of that, but we shouldn't allow removal of trees at the behest of any individual private property owner, whether it's a business or an individual. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Mulkey.
Well, I'll tell you why I come, okay.
Introduce yourself and,
I'm Wayne Moak. I live on 1194 Lark, on the corner of Lark and Linden. And you know, you just put a new street in there, and they wrecked my house. They put 17 cracks or more in the walls. And when they were doing it, I went out there and hollered at them, and they stopped, and I said, what's going on? I said, you gotta quit because this is shaking this house up so bad. They said, no, don't worry about it, the city will take care of it. And since then, it's been nothing but cracks and cracks and cracks. There's, like you can see, there's 17 cracks, probably 8 foot long in the stone house. And I've been trying to get hold of somebody to fix it, and I can't find anybody. So I'm let you have it, because they said that you're responsible for it. That you ordered them to put that vibrating compactor out there. And that really smashed my house up. I mean, that house is 150 years old, but I only owned it for 48.
right.
So I don't know what's going on, and I don't really know what to tell you. But they told me that talk to you people, maybe it would help.
Okay.
Maybe one of you people know about somebody that fixes stone houses. I don't know. I've been trying and trying and trying, and I can't get hold of anybody. They come, they look at it, and I guess they just must go and relieve it. So I don't know.
Okay, well, I'm gonna ask that our attorney review your concerns with city manager and go from there.
Okay.
So hopefully we'll get some resolution.
Well, like I
There's an
say,
insurance claim along the line somewhere?
Huh?
That's probably an insurance claim along the line somewhere?
Well, the city gave me, Mr. Kuznitsky gave me a slip for insurance,
Okay.
but I can't find nobody to do the work.
Well, if you fill out the slip and bring it back, that maybe that'll help get the ball rolling.
We
Okay.
have contracted our insurance, yes.
No, but our insurance claim as well.
Stan was,
Kuznitsky.
Well,
Why not?
yeah.
But the form that Mr. Kuznitsky gave you, if you could fill that out and bring it back, we'll
Okay.
take it.
It's just a plain old form, but like I say, I'm just getting a little disgusted, and I'm a little bit worried about that house.
Mhm.
If it gets water in there and freezes it, it's gonna bust it up worse than it is now. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Approval of correction of the minutes, October 3rd, workshop and regular meeting, 2 sets of minutes. Any questions on the minutes?
I make a motion as to accept them as presented.
Support?
I'll support.
Motion and support. Further discussion? If not, roll call, please.
Adair,
Yes.
Bayless,
Yes.
McClellan,
Yes.
Noah,
Yes.
Philbeck.
Yes. Reports, clerk treasurer,
Just the bills.
questions on the bills?
I'll make a motion that we authorize payment of the bills in the amount of $308,355.03.
I'll support that motion.
Any more discussion? If not, roll call, please.
Bayless?
Yes.
McLennan?
Yes.
Noah?
Yes.
Adair?
Yes.
Stoba?
Yes.
The attorney has no report?
I just have a question.
Sure.
How did the border tribunal go?
We're still waiting for a decision.
Still waiting.
City manager?
Only, I guess you can drop this off, Tom, but for council, either after the meeting tonight or at any point on your leisure, Mr. and Mrs. Brooks provided this to the mayor. This is kind of a photo time capsule of the Third Neary project from beginning to end. Anybody wanted to take a look at it? And then also, Rich Lamb dropped this off to hang wherever this morning, which is the photo that was on the front page, and then some other pictures from the actual celebration event. So he asked if I would present that to you guys, so you can check that out.
Very
Very nice.
Very nice, yes.
There'll be an ad in this week's paper thanking all of the donors and the MEDC, and then that'll also be linked to our website as well.
This is a lot of work from Mr. and Mrs. Brooks.
Yeah, Mrs.
Wow.
Photography over the course of 3 months, 4 months long. But, yeah. Anything else, Joe?
That's it, Tom.
Any questions for Joe on his written report?
I have a question. How are we coming on the water tower?
Oh, that's probably a better question for Mike at this point. We're now, it's a legal matter.
We have a court date Tuesday to evict. Well, that's all I could do.
Yeah, Mike and I, we tried to be patient so it wouldn't come to this, but the last response we got kind of looked, in essence, like somewhat of a blow-off response. And we're up against it now. I've been in contact with the company that does these in the Midwest. The price is still good. Anything beyond early November, and it's going to have to be put off to the spring. And then the question becomes, what is the number then, and does it cost us tens of thousands of dollars more?
I have a question then. What's the timeline then, like?
Well, I think that as long as there's, everything goes smooth on Tuesday, they've got 10 days
Okay.
from that point to get
So
out.
it's possible it could get down by November.
I'm not sure it takes about a week for them to bring it down once they start.
Monday.
Monday.
One day? Wow.
And then, Mike, if the cost does go up, let's say that, let's say they get an eviction notice, but they don't comply, and for some reason this is pushed off till spring, can they be liable for that additional amount that we're going to have to pay to take it down?
I don't know what would happen if, we get they'd have 10 days to get off. And if they don't, we would then get a court order right away and we would take it down.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think depending on what happens Tuesday, I could get that scheduled with the company at that point, so.
Okay. Anything else for Joe? Commissions or liaisons? Under mayor, I'd like a couple of things. First of all, I apologize, I should have asked to add the Kiwanis requested agenda as new business item D. Council's indulgence, I'll do that. And then I'd like to acknowledge, happens to be here coincidentally, I don't know if that was Chief Quinn's idea or not, but I'd like to acknowledge Officer Brado's service to the city and wish him well in his new endeavor.
Thank you very much.
I appreciate the work you've done here. I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
Okay. Unfinished business. First on the agenda is the tree removal policy, which after some discussion with attorney counsel, I'm not sure we're ready to move on that, but I'll leave that up to the rest of the council to weigh in on. But that's our first order of business.
I'll make a motion that we go with number 3.
Option number
Option number three.
which is Joe's suggestions in his report, correct? Well, in his, in Joe's,
Well, first of all, we don't need, I don't think we need regulations. I think it's up to the city manager to determine if something should come up for sale. it's just hampering government again. And I don't think we need, and some of the people on the Parks and Rec Commission also said that, and why are we doing it? So,
To be clear, option 3, the 3 options are adopt the policy as it came out of Parks, adopt it with language related to economic benefit to businesses, or not adopt the policy at this point. And you're making a motion
Number
to
three.
not adopt that policy. Well, we've got a motion on the floor that needs to be supported in order to move on.
I'm not clear on that motion, I'm sorry.
Well, motion to do
Not,
nothing really.
yeah. Not act on the policy itself.
Oh, okay.
It's confusing, but I guess we would need a motion to indicate the intent is to not adopt the policy at this point. Is it clear?
I talked to a lot of people on this.
Could we have a support so we could discuss?
I'll support.
Thank you. Floor is yours.
Okay, thank you. I talked to a lot of people on this, pro and con. And I try to base my vote on what the people tell me, not what my opinion is. I could go on to this for hours. I've been down there several times myself with other people. And they feel, the people feel, that we shouldn't even get involved in this thing. This is up to the city manager and it'd be up to the DPW superintendent. So I was at the meetings. I like some of the recommendations, but based on that, I'm going to have to agree or second the motion to not to adopt the policy.
My 2 cents, I want to thank the Parks and Rec Commission for all their input and their tolerance. I think we put them in a position to weigh in on something. What I hope they would do is develop a policy that we could give to staff to operate with reasonable assurance that they take care of their parks. I think for the most part that policy does that, but I understand it also. I think it needs a little more work before it's at a point where we could say, take this and run with it. I also want to apologize to Parks and Rec for putting an expectation on them that maybe we should have kept here. It is up to us, we're the ones who are elected to make decisions, and we should do that. And their development of the policy brought a lot of value to the discussion, and I think we did a good job. And I think that their policy is very near what we need to have in place going forward. But I understand we need to hold firm with what we have today. I'll go from there.
I like the idea of having a policy in place that the city manager and company can work with. I like that idea quite a lot. It's just a park management plan. But I do think that the issue of the business itself should be taken separately, because that's not part of what the Parks and Rec recommended. I like what they recommended, other than, they deleted that part. They said, and I think rightfully so, that should be a council decision, kind of what Ken was just alluding to. But I don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. I like the policy that they developed within Parks and Rec. I think that's pretty valid. But I would like to take this issue of the business separately.
What is it?
Yeah, and that's what I think.
That's what
Is that what this will do?
Yeah.
Well, this will leave the policy open to
Some fine tuning?
yes. Because I think that's necessary.
I do too.
Go ahead.
I like the second policy itself, where we work together. You got a schedule there, what we can do, what we can't do, and everybody's still working together on it. It protects businesses, and it protects our city manager and also our streets department. So he can, but we got something there, we got something we can go on now, where we had nothing before.
Well, I think it has to go to staff, the staff to come back with the recommendations of what they would like in there, because, you know, you can give the Parks and Rec, and really, they don't know the rules and what Roger and Joe go through, and it's almost like a workshop where we sit down with staff and maybe a couple people from the Parks and Rec.
And I'd like the attorney review as well.
Right.
Okay. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
So could you
We're
please,
voting to not adopt a policy at this time.
to not adopt a policy
Yes.
at this time?
Correct?
Yeah,
So a no vote would be we're not adopting it, right?
No, yes vote would be to not adopt.
A yes vote.
And further things in there. I don't know if it's necessary to even vote if we're not going to adopt it, but I think it signals our intent, which is, I think, is important.
well, I think we need a motion simply to put on record that,
Yeah.
that way.
Yeah.
That's the only reason.
Yeah, I understand.
No vote, you don't want that.
A yes vote means we're not going to adopt the policy today. And no vote means you do want the policy today.
You do want a policy.
Today.
Today.
Yes. No vote.
Are we clear?
Yes.
Roll call.
Adair,
No.
Bayless,
Yes.
McLennan,
Yes.
Noah,
Yes, but I think
Solbek.
you vote no, that means
Yes.
you want to adopt it.
Okay. Item B, under unfinished business, is a request to remove the trees in North Shore Park. Again, thanks for everybody's input. Before us, we had a request to remove 4 trees, correct?
It's 5.
5?
And they're going to be replaced, as we talked about?
What's
They're
that?
going to be replaced.
It's council's call. One of the thoughts is that we might be able to take some of the smaller ones, if you were to vote this, and just move them. The larger ones, that would be impossible.
Well, that's up to you. That's your,
I think that could be part of the motion as well, the replacement of the trees. That could be built into the motion.
Yeah, well, I think it should be, because that's what we discussed before, and I think it should be, that they said they'd replace them, or whatever. They take 5 out, they put 5 in.
Native species.
Yeah. Whatever's compatible. I think they said like red and some other tree. And again, that's up to Joe.
It's up to
Joe.
staff.
He's the city manager.
I will make a motion which will allow the removal of up to 5 trees on the North Shore Park as directed by the city manager, and as a stipulation that those 5 trees be replaced with 5 native species trees, again, as directed by the city manager. And that'll be my motion.
Yeah, at whose cost?
No, I'm sorry, that's what I was trying to do. Then that'll be at the cost of the up north 23 restaurant. It would be at that owner's cost to have those 5 trees replaced.
I'll support that.
Further discussion? Roll call.
McLennan,
Yes.
Noah,
Yes.
Adair.
Yes.
Bayless.
Yes.
Solbek.
Yes.
I wish, excuse me, Tom.
Go ahead.
I would hope that the city manager would try to set up a workshop, maybe in November, that we can discuss this with the park, couple parks, staff and come back with some recommendations. Would like to see as a policy that we can approve.
Mr. Mayor, can I have any comments regarding that? I think it's a very tough issue, and there's certainly a lot of validity on both sides, if you will, on this particular issue. It's a tough one. But I do think that it's a matter of, Rogers City has been so in need of revitalization. And I applaud the owners of the particular business that is being put in. It's a start toward a brighter future in Rogers City. Yeah, it saddens me that 5 trees have to be taken out, but I think that we have many, many beautiful parks within the city. And I think as well that with the direction of the city manager and the replanting of those trees, it was something that made sense to me. It made sense, and I think that it's a move in the right direction. Again, I applaud the owners of the new establishment taking a chance, a risk on Rogers City, and I certainly wish them well. Thank you.
Thank you. Next on the agenda, filming agreement. We had a 6-month agreement with the schools.
Right.
Wait until charter got figured out, and now charter's almost figured out, but 6 months are gone.
That's correct,
So
yeah.
we need to get them another 6 months.
That's what I'm thinking, Tom. I don't think it's gonna take 6 months to get the school up and running. They have had contact out here in the last week with Ben Witter about coming in and actually pricing out and getting exactly how the head end ends up there, so we'll have the numbers. But it just seems to me that let's just do the 6 months, and then 2 months in, if it's set up, we can sit down at the table. And we already had a full contract ready to go before we learned that this holdup was there.
Okay. So I entertain a motion to basically extend the current contract for another 6 months.
Correct.
So moved.
Go ahead, I'll second motion and support. Is there further discussion? Not, roll call, please.
Who made the motion?
Aye. Scott.
And second?
Gary.
All in favor, 1924.
Noah?
Yes.
Adair?
Yes.
Bayless?
Yes.
McLennan?
Yes.
Sobek?
Yes. Optimist Club has requested use of Westminster Park again for the Christmas tree lighting. This is a request we've entertained for the last several years. We entertain a motion to approve at this time.
I'll make a motion to approve the Christmas trees in Westminster Park again.
Support.
Motion support. Any other discussion? Not roll call. Well, just so everybody knows, the tree lighting will take place on Wednesday, November 22nd. Roll call, please.
Adair?
Yes.
Bayless?
Yes.
McLennan?
No.
Noah?
Yes.
Sobek?
Yes. The last one's fine. What's next? Trick or treat hours, October 31st, 5:30 to 7:30.
Tom, would it be possible, we were talking about this as staff, this is something I almost forget every year, and the same thing happened to me in Ottawa, remember to do this? These hours have been the same in essence forever, is it possible just to make those the hours, and if a future council wants to change them, they can do that? Just the hours remain, Halloween itself from 5:30 to 7:30, moving forward unless changed by future vote of council?
Well, we can also put your name in there, saying, it's your, okay.
That's fine, I just, didn't stop me from having to remember every year that we need to do this, and they've been the same for so long that
Yeah.
it makes sense just to say unless changed by.
I'll make a motion that we allow Joe to set the hours. We'll set the hours this year, but next year, be the same, because you're concurrent, so. How many years do you want on that?
Just until council would decide to change them, I'll just keep them the same.
Add that to my motion.
Your support?
The support.
Roll call, please.
Bayless?
Yes.
McLennan?
Yes.
Noah?
Yes.
Adair?
Yes.
Sobek?
Yes. Last request, the ad. Kiwanis Club has requested the use of the fire hall on the 31st from 5 to 7 p.m. For activities that they traditionally provide in the fire hall. They did not mention a parade in their request, but traditionally there has been a parade, so I think we might want to approve that as well, contingent on whether or not we're going to have one.
that could be a similar motion to let Joe
Deal with this.
deal with this
Yeah.
year by year. The thing is, I think it is emotional, like, am I wrong, that to use the streets and
Yeah, the parade.
parade?
Yeah.
Oh, we just take that on. I'll make that motion,
Okay.
allow it, and subject to Joe's approval, whatever it is. Hence,
Your motion support, is there any other discussion? That includes a potential parade if they are inclined to do that again. Roll call, please.
Who's second with that?
oh,
Baines.
shit, wait a minute,
McLennan?
Yes.
Noah?
yeah.
Adair?
Yes.
Bayless?
Yes.
Surratt?
Yes, new business. We'll close session.